respectfully and not just like shuffling us around. Like, we treat artists really good here because I grew up like loving jazz music. My dad would always play it in the car, and it's like 5 Points is like the jazz spot. So like, let's get some music going. And yeah, they're free shows every single Thursday and every first Friday, 6 to 8 every week. Like, always something cool going on with that. Like, sometimes it's popping in here. Other times, there was 4 of us in here, and we were fucking vibing.
I love it. That's the mentality you have to have. Sometimes, the crowds come, and other times they may not, but at the same time, the heat will remain the same, Keep bringing it, and that's what I can respect that. So, I mean, in addition to the jazz things, tell us a little bit more about, what we've got on the calendar for the coming weeks, months, as well as tell us your social pages and website. So if folks that are listening to this, they want to check out what the menu looks like for the winter, tell us all of that information before I dive into the nitty-gritty of personal questions.
Absolutely. So coming up, our big event that's like a yearly for us is our Valentine's Day at Goed Zuur. We're doing it February 12th this year, and it's going to be from
This drops on the 14th.
Oh. Well, we'll skip over that one.
I'll cut it out.
So some friends of ours up in Lafayette, Cellar West, we're doing an event with them that, well, I guess it's announced now, but that's going to be the February 27th. It's going to be a ramen brunch up there. We're doing duck confit ramen bowls and like some other like vegan styles also, and we're pairing them with Cellar West beers. We have collaborations with them. In the past, we do a series called Special Herbs, where I go out into 4 Mile Canyon and go and like pick wild lavender and have different breweries make beers with it.
Is that a cannabis-related adventure? Because I know you like to puff tough and grow your own. Is this like I'm going to make this a yearly thing where I pick lavender and it's just an excuse to go get high on time?
I would like to say yes. That's totally why I'm doing it. But I mean, as the lifestyle that I live, like, I'm definitely
you need
not
fresh lavender.
But I definitely don't need to go prancing out in the woods to get stoned. Like,
touche.
But no, I think it's
that's a fun little
honestly,
tradition.
Man, it's one of those things where it's kind of like, for the most part, none of us are getting rich doing this. Like, being in this restaurant game, it's having little perks like that, little fun things that you create for yourself, that's like really the fun part about being in here. Like, I'm not struggling by any means, but at the same time, like, I'm definitely like waiting for that paycheck every single week, and it's like having little things like that are so important. It's like being able to close the restaurant for a week. Like, John has given us amazing resources to be able to do things where it's like the quality of life of like working with this crew is so good. It's like, yeah, we grind, but like we all go on vacation together. We all watch each other's backs. Like, somebody gets sick, like there's 9 of us. 9 of us on a good day. Like, when things have gotten thin before, like we were running this with like 6 people and it's like 81 seats and we were straight up slammed in here. It was, there's been crazy ass times with everything that's been happening, but it's a tight crew that watches out for each other, and we also, make sure that we can enjoy things in life. I mean, working in kitchens earlier, like, there's so much of my life that I have like missed going by, like it has just like floated away. I like think about like my like mid-20s. It's like I was in a kitchen every single week for 80 to 100 hours, and it was like I was so scared of like failing, like seeing a restaurant fail, things like that. Like, I couldn't let it go. And it's like right now it's like I feel so fortunate that we got John in our life. Like, he makes all this happen. And yeah, I mean, it's
and the
doing
team
this
here,
yeah,
y'all are doing wondrous work. So it's not just, y'all are putting out a quality product.
We're doing it for each other. Like, when COVID all popped off and we had to close for 3 weeks, like, we came back a much different crew with like a much different thought process. And we were just kind of like, we are not a bar. Like, we're a restaurant. Like, let's lean into this shit. And like, that's when our whole food game stepped up, and like everyone like became like food focused unit. and not just like grind out boards. Yeah, I mean,
I love it, man.
That was the corner.
Hey, I love to see that y'all turn the corner and y'all come out with this. It's a creative dish or a creative menu. It's a great concept, and
Dude,
we've
only
only
making
done
hot dogs like originally in here, and like I think back.
Be fair though, fucking hot dogs are good.
Dude, I love a fucking hot dog, but when I think about my menu, it's like I don't gotta be making fucking chili dogs to try to make people happy. I'm like, we need to come back here and make food that makes us happy. And like once we did that, that's when we started getting love. Like when people were just like, "Holy shit!" Like there was.
That's what I mean. I was
so
like,
much
"Give me
of
your business card. Let's talk."
I
didn't know you were going to talk about 45 minutes about cheese, but I loved it.
Man, to become personal, to become personal with your food and like really like captivate like a customer in a way where they feel like how genuine what you're putting on a plate is, and like to be able to show that, like that's part of your personality that builds being in the business. I've been in 28 years and I'm 39 now. It's like longer in this kitchen than I've been outside of it. Like Italian skin is the only thing that keeps me from being pale white. Like,
well, I mean, I love your dedication to the craft. Like wanting to be better every day, coming in here and grinding y'all's balls off, whether it be six folks or
it's that combination where it's not just obsessing about the food, but it's wanting to make sure that like the people here like trust me that like I'm doing everything in my power to like make this a fun day.
I mean, and you mentioned it earlier with how you crowdsource the concepts for the dishes on your menu, and now you talk about how it wouldn't be possible without the whole team. It seems like it's a great little team-oriented affair y'all have going on here. I dig it, but now is the time of the episode where we're going to ask you some questions about you. We're going to ask you to take off the work hat. I love that you love your team and Goed Zuur and sour beer and cheese. But we're going to ask you to show us the way. You're a beer guy. You like cannabis as well. Tell us some of what you like in town. So if you had a day off, where are you taking Rachel on a date night? Things like that. Where's your happy hour?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going out in town, like, there's
Are you eating the rinds?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Tear those rinds up. Like,
really?
Yeah. They've got a little bit of bitterness to them, but, like, you do, like, eat that.
Eat
like,
it all?
Don't just nibble to the end. Like, yeah, get that whole thing.
Okay, continue on.
That's like drinking kombucha right there. It's like getting that good belly. Getting them good bugs. It's crazy. When you look at this cheese underneath, like, a magnifying glass even, like, there's things moving on there. I love that about raw cheeses. Raw cheeses are the shit.
All right, so where's your happy hour go to?
Happy hour go to. I'm going to Tavernetta for happy hour.
Ooh,
like
nice.
Yeah, it's like this is the only time of the day where I can afford to go to Tavernetta. Like, but they have Negronis that are $6 and absolutely fucking beautiful. Like, Hee-Jong Kim that works there, she's like the front of the house manager, and her boyfriend who is like one of the bartenders there, like they are a sick unit that like runs that spot. Like, going to see them, they come in here, like it's a real nice like crossover between those guys and us.
I love that spot, and that's a great call too, because people are often wondering of a happy hour, like if I wanted to grab one drink or something like that. Tavernetta, if you can slide in there, if there's availability at the bar, just pop up for a drink. People watch for a minute. And you
that
can
Frito
go on the
Misto
way.
hits. But after I'm leaving there, like I'll love going over to Novel Strand. Like Tamir, that is the brewer there. He was part of our opening team here at Zuur, and he's such a sassy asshole. And like from the moment he started working here, he was just like, I'm opening up a brewery that's my own. I'm like, cool, dude. Like, have a fun time. Nobody else has thought of that concept before. Like, roll with it. And like, honestly, he was out of here in like under a year and like opening up that brewery and like instantly like putting out good beer. Like,
hey, you got to respect it. When you know what you want to do, you knew you were going to stay in the restaurant scene. We figured out we like to smoke weed and talk with people. That's kind of the vibe. I dig it, my man. I dig it. So I have two more questions for you. I like the brewery. I like the happy hour recommendation. I have a couple more I want to pick your brain. This one's going to be the most personal probably of the night. Let's say you had a long night at the office. Let's say that you worked the shift, team was sick, Coco or what have you. You've been on your feet for like 12, 13 straight. What's that one guilty pleasure snack and drink that you have where when you get home you just kick your feet up and it's the last thing you go before you go to bed? What's that guilty snack? Guilty drink?
If I'm gonna go out, like, I don't know, I'm usually going straight home as like quick as I can. Like, I just want to go home and see my dog. Like,
No, I get that. What's that snack like you always have in your pantry, always have in your fridge? What's that go-to old reliable you have at home?
I would have to say P-Joys. Like, I love those like little like wafer like chocolate filled sticks that you get at the Asian Mart. Like
the ones that have like the crisscross tops that are almost like flaky.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. There's Pockies and P-Joys. Pockies are the dipped ones, and P-Joys are the ones that are filled in the center. Only chocolate flavor. Those are my hit. But like that and a glass of like bottled in bond from 1792. Like, I love that whiskey. And but if I want to get out and not like have to know anybody, like, I'm going over to Electric Cure. I fucking love Tiki Drinks. Like, I travel to Las Vegas like a couple of times a year just to go and chill at Golden Tiki. Like, I have a spot that I get all spun and like sit by the waterfall and like let the water like splash me in the face. I like crush Tiki Drinks all night. Like, that's kind of like my thing. Dude, you can find trips to Vegas for like $19. Like, I fly there with like a fanny pack on, and I'm just like, hotel room, what? Like, it's going to be less than 24 hours, and I'm going to head back. Dude, Chinatown in Vegas is the sickest Chinatown in the United States. Like, the different restaurants that they have there will blow your fucking
That
mind.
was my favorite part about, I was there for the weed conference, and the food at Chinatown in Vegas was my favorite part about it.
Yeah, go to Lamai. Like, it's a badass.
China Mama was where I went last.
There's a Thai restaurant there that specializes in Rieslings, and like the duck and like, you know, a real fucking nice Riesling that you take off some drunk dude's table is lovely. I can't buy the nice shit, but people leave stuff behind on their tables all the time in Vegas, and I'm not above drinking somebody else's half bottle.
I don't know. I would get looks from the people at my table would be probably the biggest problem. But if I was just sitting there stagged and someone left something, I'll dump that bitch in my cup. I'm not scared. Dude, I love it. Chef, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate it. From, you know, stories of growing up in the food scene to telling us about the cheese adventures to get that lead to dankness here at Go Ed, and, you know, the stories about the team. That was probably the best part. You know, before we go, though, I would love it if you would just tell us again, how can folks find the menu, website, social media, things that we have coming up real soon, just so that if they hear this after Valentine's Day, they've got, you know, a snowy Thursday or Friday, they want to do jazz or something. Tell us a little bit about what's to get fired up and how they can check all that out.
You can catch us at GoodZuur.com. Everything is Goed Zuur. GoedZuur.
Don't pretend like everybody fucking knows Belgian dialects and verbiage. Like, finding you online, if you're not actively seeking it out, could be very difficult.
Well, there is only one Goed Zuur, which makes it easy enough. But with the proper spelling, that is done very infrequently.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's GoedZuur.
.com.
Or on Insta at Goed Zuur, and on Facebook or Goed Zuur. If you want to ever email us, it's goedzur@gmail.
I just realized I was white trash and I've been calling it Go Ed.
Trust me, the way that I'm saying it is a way that it's palatable for people. Like, the way that it's really said, like, I can't properly.
It's like the angry German accents.
Not so angry.
Go wash off.
It's just a deep hod. It's a hodser. And if you don't know, like, Goed Zuur, it's good acid or good sour in Flemish or Dutch. Yeah, like, you can find like our hashtags like Good Acid Crew and stuff like that, and that will like take you to like pictures of us vacationing together, walking donkeys down the street and things like that, picking peaches, eating peaches.
It'll probably find you some fish tour pictures as well.
Oh, that's a Rachel thing. So we have this like interesting thing between me and Rachel where she is very much into the